Finding the right cups to fit in your Ascent's 19 cup holders can be a challenge, but Robert tests over 24 of them to show you what fits and where it fits.
Hey everyone, I'm Robert and I'm a Subaru ambassador, and a question I see a lot in the Facebook groups that we run is where can I find mugs that fit my Subaru Ascent? Everyone knows that your Subaru Ascent has 19 cup and bottle holders, so I'm going to go through 24 cups and bottles to give you all a very wide selection of things that can fit in your Ascent. So when I do these videos, I try and balance the needs for a very informationally filled video with one that just has some quick answers for those just looking for something simple. So we're going to start off with what specs you need to know to fit the most troublesome cup holder people have in their Ascent, which is this one right here in the center between the driver and passenger front seat. And the solution to finding one for this is get one that has a base that's 2 3/4 inches, like this is here, and has at best a slight taper. So it can taper up to about 3 inches up at the top, and then this, and you heard it right there, hitting the bottom. This is a perfect fit and actually hits the bottom without it being super tight. So an ideal fit will have a base of 2.75 inches to a taper of no more than 3 inches, and the maximum I would use would be a 3-inch base to a taper of 3 1/4 inches for the center console in the front row. And of course, don't forget that the height of your tumbler or your rambler will definitely affect how it fits in the first position in the first and second row. For instance, this will not fit in either of those positions. The number in white above each mug corresponds to the number in the description to find the link to purchase one. The size of the mug is on the bottom, and then each position in the Ascent is color-coded. The cup holders in the center of the second row are roughly the same size, whether you have 7 or 8 seats, so we only tested the 7-seat touring. So we're going to start off with some tumblers. As you can see, with every one of these, I tried every mug and cup in every position. The first one we're going to start is the 20-ounce tumbler, which you can get from Subaru Gear or you can get from Amazon. That has a pretty decent fit across most of the car. Looking at number 2, this is a 24-ounce tumbler. It doesn't fit as well in some of the positions, including in the left and right doors in the first row. Number 3 is a 16-ounce tumbler that you can get from Amazon or the Subaru Gear store. This one also has a pretty decent fit across most of the car. So to make sure these fit, I actually really did test all 24 of them in all of the positions for a total of 336 different combinations. Moving on, we did test the Yeti Mug style that's often used for hot chocolate, and it does not fit anywhere. From here, we did try water bottles, the style that you would see on bicycles, and they fit in every position very well. Of course, since they don't hold hot drinks, we're going to move on to some stuff that does. So let's move on to the straight bottle style. These generally don't have any taper, and they come in a bunch of different sizes. Let's start with a 24-ounce from ThermoFlask, which fits decently in a lot of different positions. From here, we're going to move on to the Contigo, which also fits pretty decently in a lot of different positions. The height on all of these are the things that generally limits them. These guys here from Basecamp fit pretty well in these positions as well. Moving on to this one here from HydroFlask. This doesn't fit very well in almost any position, so I'd skip it. These 24-ounce water bottles, but again, they don't hold hot stuff, fit in every position, so that was a nice find. And then these glass ones here don't fit very well in just about anywhere. They're just a wee bit too wide. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, it's time to move on to probably everyone's favorites. This one here on the left, number 15, is a 25-ounce one that surprisingly fits very well in most of the positions for the first row and the third row, but has some problems in the second. The same goes with virtually every other Rambler. These guys here from Yeti and Bottle and others are decent fit up front. Everyone's favorite Stanley 30-ounce Rambler is a struggle to get in the front, but it does fit if you jam it in there, and that goes for a lot of the other positions as well. This 40-ounce one here actually has that exact same problem, but this is where things start getting a little bit interesting. So we're going to move on to this one right here, which actually fits a bit better in the center console up front, as well as in the doors on the second row, but it does rub a little bit. Same thing with this 40-ounce here from Sursip, which is one of my favorites as well, has a really nice locking lid. Now, we're going to move on to something a little bit special here, and that is this monstrosity, which is a 50-ounce from Powcan. And let's take a look at where this guy fits, because this is the largest of my Ramblers. And amazingly enough, this massive monstrosity with a built-in integrated handle that makes it difficult to break off and a full 50 ounces worth of drink fits really well in the center console up front, fits decently in the upper ones on the second row, and fits pretty decently in all 5 positions in the third row. It does come in a 40 and 50 ounce version. I have the 50 ounce. The bases are 3 inches at the top and the bottom, which helps it fit pretty well. They are very tall though when you get to the 50 ounce, and that's how they make up for it. So let's look at some specialty ones. This one here actually fits pretty decently and plugs into your 12-volt accessory outlet and can brew coffee from K-Cups. It only brews 8 to 9 ounces though, so that's the one downside about it. And then there's, of course, your generic disposable water bottle that fits pretty much everywhere. Once you get to the taller ones, it's a little bit tighter fit in some of them. As I was searching for things, I did find this accessory that's a cup holder extender that does work in the center row up front and works in all 5 positions in the third row and allows you to fit some pretty big things like that Yeti hot chocolate mug, as well as the 2 bottles that didn't fit, and this beauty right here, which is the Stoke Voltaics kettle pot, which you can use with a French press attachment to brew coffee, or you can use it to cook things. So for those of you with battery units, this is a really, really nice thing that you can lug around, brew your coffee, cook some food. So for those of you moving to electric cooking systems, this is a really great thing that works really well with the cup holder extender. But of course, you can use your cup holders for more than just that. So for instance, I got this big garbage can that fits in all the positions in the Ascent and is a great way of dealing with some small trash. But there's another one that I found, which is this smaller one here that not just fits in all 19 positions, but opens up 2 more additional positions in the little half slots that are in the front row driver and passenger door. So here you can see it in action. Now sadly, this does not fit in the half slots in the second row doors, but at least you can use it up front and have a little bit of an extra position there. Now here's a bonus use. I carry a fire extinguisher with me when I'm out on the trails, and it fits into the second row upper cup holders. Now do note that I do use a piece of gaff tape on the door here so I don't scratch it with the fire extinguisher. For those of you who don't need exorbitant sized mugs, these guys here are really great. This one's from HydroFlask. Some of the other ones are from Basecamp, and they fit really well. When you get to some of the larger ones, you're going to find that they don't necessarily fit because the bases, just like on the Ramblers, are a bit large. So the 2 smaller sizes definitely fit in the most positions of all the different cups. But of course, for me, for those of you who went out on adventures with me, you'd know that I do love my morning coffee and probably a second one throughout the day. And I do love drinking a lot of water and iced tea along the way. So for me, the clear winner is the 50 ounce from Powcan right here, because 1, it's 50 ounces, and 2, it amazingly fits in the center console. A lot of people have been struggling to find 24-ounce Ramblers or other drink bottles that fit in the center console, and here's a 50 that fits pretty well. So this is definitely one of my favorites. It does have, as I showed you earlier, a very nice hole for a big straw that comes along with it. plus your locking flip lid. One thing I do recommend is when you do push it down, you got to push it till it clips, otherwise it can spill if you do accidentally drop it. But other than that, hope you all found this helpful, and enjoy your trails, and safe travels to all of you.